Welcome to the revolution, my friends. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anyways, that's just a kind of a spoof on Madonna out there doing her little blow up the White House president thing. First of all, you know what? I gotta just do this because it's called it's like the purge, but we're gonna call this the Trump surge because I'm getting all this stuff out of me because there are a lot of tensions in the air. You may not think that there are, but there are because why? We're still in the middle of a revolution. We're upcoming. And you may think, hey, is this guy being fanatical with that in my corner? Nah, not really. We're just in a very interesting time here in America. And we're basically coming back, the people taking back what was lost a little bit there. And yeah, times are a little bit interesting. But most people in America don't see that. Okay, and no, that's not fanatical. I just actually put that in the background just to give it a little bit more spunk, all right? That's it. So I had to actually go find that. It was like in a closet somewhere. So, no, I'm not fanatical. Matter of fact, I'm probably one of the best people to talk about this kind of thing on the inside because I live in this realm for the most part. And give you a little background on what I do and who I've been. My name's Eric Von Sydow. I go by the name Hypnotica. You may be out there. You may have pirated my stuff because I'm probably one of the most pirated people on the planet, which sucks for me. And not you cheap bastards out there that keep on pirating my stuff. Anyways, I teach about men's lifestyle, all right? Sex in particular with women. So, gives you a little bit of background. Now, the reason why I say I'm probably the best to have a video like this, to give you a inside look at what's going on as far as the wheelie dealy kind of weird stuff, as far as shady and shifty and things like that. I ran strip clubs for 23 years, still working in them. And I see the insides of how things go like this, okay? Pretty much any business, all right? But when you're dealing with erotic entertainers, you're dealing on another level. And it's a little bit more Game of Thrones-ish for the most part. Take Game of Thrones and throw in Ron Jeremy and throw in Jerry Springer, and you know where I'm coming from. I ran security, head of security for pretty much many, many years, and then I became a GM. And now I'm actually a strip club consultant for one of the biggest names in the world, Cheetahs, and I work for the big boss. Okay, I won't mention his name because he might get mad and yell at me, and I don't want to hear that. But yeah, here's where I'm coming from. All right, think about this: the mentality, my mindset. I'm a strip club consultant for Cheetahs. Okay, let that sink in. Okay, like you got to go pretty far to become a bouncer. You got to go real far to become a GM. To become a strip club consultant for the main guy, and let me tell you how this guy is that I work for personally. All right. I'm not going to mention his name, but I'm going to give you a little bit of background, like interesting background that you may not know. So, my boss, you ever heard of John Gotti? All right. You may have heard of the guy. Okay. He was a mobster in, I believe, New York for the most part. I guess really light guy and things like this, but he had some run-ins with the law. Okay. Federal, bottom line. And they put him away for a long time. And you may not know this. I didn't really know this until just recently. But my boss is the very first person in America to have the Patriot Act enacted on him. All right, little John Gotti, when they went to court, because my boss kind of got rolled up a little bit, and we'll talk about that in a second, got rolled up a little bit. John Gotti had, I think, this is what he told me, 87 hours of recorded surveillance on him. Most ever. My boss, 237 hours of recorded time on him to put him away for a little bit. And it all came down to politicians, why he got put away. And this is the story. You're going to hear all kinds of different stories, but my boss, and I've worked for many, and I've seen many people, my boss is the coolest, most straightforward, best tipper, most straight up guy that I know for the most part, okay? And let's just say something, because you're going to, if you go online and you search, who he is and things like that, you may get a wrong story. This is what really happened. When he was running, the club Cheetahs, or he owned the club Cheetahs, he basically would get phone calls. He's a wealthy guy. He would get phone calls, and they would be like, "Hey, Mister Blah blah blah, we're interested in, if you would like to donate money." Okay, he's like, "Donate money for, for what?" Like, "Well, I'm a politician. I can change laws. I can do all blah 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 blah." It's like what politicians do. Okay, politics is what it means. That means like poly and ticks. If you know what a tick is, you know that there's many of them, especially in Washington. So they kept on calling him up, and they asked for like $100,000, and he's like, "Okay, it's a little weird that like you're calling me and you're asking me for money, but for what? Like, what am I going to just give you? Am I going to just give you money?" Okay, and he's like, "This is what I would like." He's like, "I would like to see that the laws in San Diego loosen up, so that there's a little bit more contact, because the law in San Diego is like worst fucking strip clubs in the world, except for Cheetahs, right?" And Cheetahs is pretty good. Bottom line, double the girls of any club in San Diego. It's what a strip club should be for the most part. Now, so they kept on calling him up, and one day he gets rolled up. Now, he got put on the line. So I guess every time you call, like a politician calls, even if they called him and they were just working these deals, and he wasn't really working a deal. He just said, "If you want $100,000, this is what I want to see from my business. Like, this is what I would like to see." Well, they basically set it up as like bribery. And, I've heard the story, and I heard him talk about it, and he's like, "This, like, what do you do? They call you up, they ask for $100,000, and you're like, 'Well, I'd like to see the laws.'" Okay, well, they got it up, put him away, and that's where we're at on this story as far as that goes. Now, also a little bit of tie-in. Check this out. This is crazy stuff. Like, you probably didn't know like how deep in this system I am as far as strip clubs, okay, and being a strip club consultant as far as what's in here. So, back in 9/11, all right, there was some shady-looking fellas going through Cheetahs, and we made a little phone call, and guess what? The people that were in there were the ones that basically flew the plane into 9/11. Now, we thought it was a little weird for how they were acting and things like this, so we made a phone call into the feds and basically just said, "Hey, you know what? Something's not right here, okay, going on." Well, they didn't put anyone really on the case. Why? Because they were surveilling my boss at the time. Isn't that crazy how that works? Like, just weird stuff I thought I'd just, relate to you guys, just to show you like who I am and this whole thing. It's going to be long, but it should be kind of entertaining and interesting for the most part. So I'm kind of going off. I'm going off on a purge, all right, a little bit. The Trump surge is what I'll call it. We're getting it out. And the reason why I really wanted to kind of talk about this too, and you have to forgive me on this level because I'm also fasting right now, and I'm getting actually extra lean because I got to get super lean, and I tend to get a little wild and crazy. I have in the past. I'm going to say that. Lots of psychedelics, lots of DMT, lots of mushrooms, all kinds of stuff, and so you have to forgive me a little bit because when you think about fat, okay, what all fat is really an insulator, and it stores and keeps toxins out of your bloodstream. So the fat will absorb it, and toxins go into your fat. So when you're doing stuff like mushrooms, acid, DMT, and all these other interesting things that I've experienced with, sometimes your fat absorbs them, and when you lose the weight, what happens? Well, they get released in your bloodstream, so you can get a little crazy, okay? I've been like that coupled with this whole revolution thing because the reason why I'm saying this and I'm having this is because I'm on edge. And I don't mean like in a bad way. Like, I'm not all crazy, and like I said, I'm not all fanatical. I just put that in there to make it look better, okay? But these are the things. Like, I ran security. Like, I know what to look for. I see things coming before they even come. And so I'm a little, like I said, on edge, and then you put a little of that and maybe some acid getting released in my bloodstream. It could get a little odd. Some of my posts may get a little interesting. So I just want to like bring this across to you. So here's a couple things that I want to talk about. And listen, also, I train the most powerful people in the world, okay? Like, I do hypnosis, design human engineering, study neurosemantics. Like, I'm a kind of a brain guy. I like to program for the most part. Matter of fact, I am a mind designer. You haven't even got that yet, but it's coming, right? new thing that I'm opening up on how the brain works and how to design things for the better. And I've worked with the best of the best. Some of my clients are the guys that Anthony Robbins goes to for advice. Okay, some of my clients are guys that have written 6 bestsellers, and I was also featured in the book, the New York Times bestseller, The Game. Okay, penetrating the secret society of pickup artists, but I do not consider myself a pickup artist. I consider myself a man who teaches men very powerful things to enhance their sex life for the most part and their social life. So I'm telling you this so you don't think, oh, it's just some weird guy. No, I'm a guy who has a brain on him and has been through a lot, and these are my thoughts on this whole thing that's going on right now. Now, make no ifs, ands, or buts about it, okay? I'm a little worried. Think of Donald Trump. I voted for Donald Trump, and I was in the very beginning on Facebook going, Donald Trump, where everyone else was like, fuck that guy. You know, it's like what the left does. It's called, their logo and their motto should be shame, blame, and defame. And that's the way it is. Look at the way the left acts, okay? Ridiculous, right? Don't let me get into it because I already kind of got into a little bit about, listen, a black man was president, and I posted this a couple weeks ago and see how people responded, but these are my thoughts. A black man in America became president. You didn't see all the Ku Klux Klan members down there in the streets by the thousands marching on the streets and breaking things. No, it's a different level. Donald Trump becomes president. Look what happens, okay? So this is about raising your own bar of being a human, an American. So these are why I'm coming across like this. And the reason I'm kind of ranting a little bit here is because I see things in security that most people don't. Like I pick up things, I can tell people, here's a little story. This girl got her money stolen in Cheetahs by another girl. Imagine shit like that happens, all right? So they were like, well, they searched her and everything like this. And I said, interesting. I said, okay, well, let me step in, because I always step in when they can't figure it out, they send me in, okay? I'm like John Wick, but different in a way. So I sit there, I go, both of you girls, come here. Get the story. I said, what happened? She was here, I went to the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. Money was gone. I said, okay, trace your steps. She said, well, the other girl said, well, I went to the bathroom, and then I came in here, and I went out on the floor. I said, cool, all right. So they searched the girl's bag. She didn't have her money. I said, watch this. Like Sherlock Holmes at the strip club, you know. So I'm walking there, I go into the bathroom, I open up where the toilet paper stuff is, and there's all the money stacked, hidden. I'm like, hey, pack your shit, you gotta go. So I'm aware of these things. And these are the things that I want to bring and put out there, because obviously I'll probably never meet Donald Trump. I better meet Donald Trump. These are the things that go through my head, right? First of all, like I worry, and I hope they do this kind of security, like cameras and shit. Like, you know, there's lots of money out there right now. You can make a lot of cool stuff. I just want to make sure Donald Trump or someone that knows him, make sure and just check like the cameras. You know, you could have a gun like in the little hole and you're getting videoed and boom, all right? Like I'm nervous for the guy. I mean, and people are always bitching about it. They're like, Donald Trump's in it for the money. Are you fucking out of your mind? The guy has plenty of money. Who in their right mind is going to put their family on the line to step up just to get more money? That's fucking ridiculously ludicrous, all right? I'm worried for the guy. When you're watching the inauguration, you're probably thinking, fuck, man, like I'd be nervous as fuck sitting up there. Imagine his family there, knowing that lots of people want to kill this guy because why? He's an American fucking hero as far as I'm concerned. Puts his life on the line, puts his money on the line. Why? To make America great again, all right? And that's what he's doing. He's kicking ass right now. So I'm not going to get into that because we'll see. I'm not going to jump the gun. But I worry about things like that. Like, you know, check, you know, the inside of that kind of stuff. Also, you know, like you never know. Like there's fanatics out there. They could be sitting there talking to him, and they could be CIA. Just lift up the gun, boom. Okay, that's kind of realm we're in right now. And a lot of people don't see that, but I do. And I'm not naive to the fact that there's people out there that would do that kind of stuff. And I'm worried because I love America. Bottom line. Anyone would love their country. This country's been amazing to me and amazing to everyone else around us that I can know, that I know. Yeah, we got our little kinks, and right now we're showing the world our ugly side. But underneath that, don't get wrong, there's a foundation of magicalness and beauty. And that's what we're going to bring. We're going to work out our issues. We're going to get better. We're going to keep moving forward. So I get a little worried on this thing. So here's another thing that I want to say. And fuck you, CNN. Just straight fuck you. All right. If you're talking about, he's talking about they're out there and they're doing these little subtle things. And fuck you, Madonna. I used to fucking love your shit. Fucking can't stand your shit now. Why? Because the subtleness of the seed planted in the mind, right? And if you don't think that there's a seed that was planted in the mind during CNN when they're talking about if President Trump got assassinated, you don't say shit like that, okay? You know why? Because I can do it too. Imagine this. Now, I was sitting in the restaurant and I was listening to a guy next to me telling a story about his friend's mother's brother. And his friend's mother's brother was talking about how to get rid of the media. And he said to himself when he was talking, because the guy next to him was listening to the story that I'm telling you now, about seeds being planted in the mind, deep seeds. And he said, simply, all you have to do is anyone who's on the media, you basically just take them out, fuck them up. Bottom line is, when the media gets scared because they no more people, when they don't have anything else to put up there as a talking head, what are they gonna do? Put an animation up there? Think people are gonna take it seriously? So, I'm just saying this. I'm not dropping any seeds out there for people, but you wanna take care of the problem? Take care of the media and the talking heads. When people are too afraid to do that, media's done. Now, that's just a story that I heard about a guy who was sitting at a table. No seeds could be planted. There could be no fanatics out there that would take what was said and think to themselves, that's a good idea. There's no danger in that. Madonna, no, there's no danger in saying blow up the White House. Madonna doesn't have millions of people that are her fans that are fanatical, that would do anything for Madonna. God knows how many dicks she sucked with guys that are just probably, not really socially versed. But I have one word to say, okay? 2 words, actually. There are 2 names to make this point. Jodie Foster, John Hinckley. Fanatics, things they do. John Hinckley was the one who tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan. Why? To impress Jodie Foster. So fuck you, Madonna, if you don't think that your freedom of speech has any implication. It does. So these are just things that I'm throwing out there because shit pisses me off, because it doesn't take much, all right? Just remember that. It doesn't take much because there's fanaticals in every country, all right? And those are the people that should be all packed up and put somewhere. Put all your Black Lives Matter, your KKK, your ICAUDA, put them on an island, Donald Trump, and make a little show about it, okay? Called Stupid Survivor or something like that. And let them all do their shit over there. Like all the people, like we all get it, okay? Lots of people get it. Okay, most people want world peace. Everyone I know wants world peace. Only idiots and dumb shits and lower level thinking, reptilian brain type of thinking, okay, want anything to control the world. You'll never fucking control the world because there's always gonna be that one fucking guy who's up in the mountains that you don't know about, who's never even heard of Islam or Christianity or Judaism or any of this shit, okay? You're never gonna get the whole world because there's gonna be some guy out there, so you're not gonna get it. So just chill the fuck out. Let everyone live their lives peacefully, like how we want. These are important things, all right? Now, I wanna also talk about, because I'm just gonna put it all out there. This is gonna be a little bit long. Trump, here's the problem. America, okay, was overtaken. I believe that, okay? I absolutely believe that. I do not think Obama wanted to make America great. Don't think it, all right? And it all comes down to the kids, where this all started from. Starts in school, they're taking their minds. And I'm actually gonna make a product out there. It's gonna be called From Snowflake to Success. Because I really don't think that the snowflakes, it's their fault. To a degree, it's the parenting part, but it's the whole left of how to raise kids and doing things like this. Because of the fact that, you gotta teach your neurology about pain and learning from it. A kid puts his hand on the fucking fire thing on the stove, burns himself, he ain't gonna do that again. If he does, he's stupid. If he does it again, you might wanna cut the kid's hand off, okay? Just give him a good lesson as far as that goes. Just joking. But the point is, you have to install in the neurology, a grid, a plain pleasure grid for the kid to bounce back and forth through. So it's teaching him, and you have to fucking sometimes step it up. Like, I got my ass handed to me a few times when I was a kid for me doing dumb things, and you know what? I feared it. I feared the repercussion of me doing dumb things. And, this whole group in society hasn't really taught parents that they can do that or they're going to prosecute them and things like this. So, excuse me. Sorry, I got thrown off. My wife brought me a green drink. Okay. And I'm going to have to get back to this because she kind of threw me off a little bit. But speaking of green drinks, anyway, that comes back to what we're talking about with the kids. And so kids have been brought up there, haven't been trained in their neurology on setting up a pain-pleasure grid so they understand what's wrong or their parents are going to get punished for it. So they've been afraid. But this is one of the direct results of what was happening. Now you add on to that, Michelle Obama, good job for fucking making American kids' lunches shitty. Right? Nutrition has everything to do with mental health, right? When you think about it or not, okay? When you deprive the mind of nutrients and the proper optimum nutrition, then you're stunning their growth as far as that goes. So if you think like, oh, he's just some fanatical guy who's done drugs, no, you know what? I grow my own food. I make my own food. I do not eat meat. I'm a vegan. And yes, you can get big and strong off being vegan. It's actually better for you. I can go into that, but I won't. All right, but bottom line is booyah, okay? Vegan, you can do it. And you have massive amounts of energy and things like this. Bottom line, it goes like this. This has been going on for a long time. It started with the kids, indoctrination. You know why kids go to school? Is because those in command know that to really get into a kid's mind from 1 to 6 years old is the best brainwashing time. You set that in motion, so you get them away from the parents, you indoctrinate them, and this is what school does for the most part. And it used to be good. School used to be, at least I enjoyed it. And all my class of 90, Bonita Vista, Bears Rock. The point is this, they're taking away the good food. Okay, first thing I would do, and this goes into everything, and everyone out there, okay, because, America, get the fucking shape, because we're gonna be fucked if you think about the heavy metals that are in our system and all the toxicity that we're having. Okay, if you look at the numbers of autism, it is like 1 in 10,000, and now it's down to like 1 in 25, and they project by the year 2025, 1 in 3 kids will have autism. Okay, that's scary. Something's going on. Maybe check the water, like all the chemicals in the water. Where that came from? Okay, well, I want to look into it. It's a little deeper than that. I know it. That's why I have a distiller. I don't drink any of that fucked up water. All right, so that's going to affect it. Heavy metals in your system. Okay, fat, diabetes. Okay, that's all building up on what? Healthcare. What did Obama try to push? Healthcare. Why? Because he knows there's a lot of fat Americans and people are going to be fucked in the future for the most part. So to me, eating shitty and putting shitty food out there for us to learn and grow from, okay, is treason. Straight up treason. Why? Because think about it. You got millennials coming out, no responsibility, all right, or a lot of them. I'm not going to say all, but there's not a lot of responsibility coming up. They haven't really learned to get down and dirty. And then you have this other generation that's going a couple years from now. So you have all these kids, autism, and then you have all these fat fucks with diabetes. Okay, think about the burden on the healthcare system. Who's going to take care of them? Who's going to step up for America? Okay, we got to start now. Start eating healthy. Start doing green drinks. Start getting your system. And I'm telling you, you'll be amazed at how good you feel. Sugar's going to take a little tough. It took me like 5 years to get off of sugar completely. Biggest addiction there is. Check it out. I've done every fucking drug there is for the most part, except for heroin and speed, meth, any of that. I don't touch the dumb drugs. And here's the interesting thing. I know what addiction feels like. I've never been addicted except for to sugar and vagina, maybe. I don't know. I like it. And things like this. So the biggest things in my neurology that I can say is the things that I felt that sugar to, because I went through smoking, got rid of all that shit, is smoking was pretty good. It took me a long time to get off of that one. Okay, sugar, definitely. Okay, and fucking Pizza Hut and MSG and all that other food. Crazy, exactly crazy on how, like I'm afraid, I'm not afraid of any drug, all right? But I am definitely afraid of eating a fucking pizza because the next 3 days I'm in binge mode, all right? Like I'm eating everything. So I don't even touch it because I've already got over that initial, damn, I want something like this because of all the fucking chemicals they put in there that it's like the SOS. They put the salt, the oil, and the sugar in there. And that fucks up our thinking and they're trying to take, physical education out of high schools and everything like that. If you want to read a good book, go read the book Spark, all right, about exercise and what it can do to the brain. Quick side of the story, they had this class that was in, I don't know, like Illinois. They were just shitty on their grades. So they did an experiment where before first class, they did like a 0 period and they exercised the shit out of them. Okay, they made them run. Well, in 1 year, those kids that were just average went up to #1 in the world in science and math. Okay, that's how important this is. Like exercise is food for your body and for your brain. It gets oxygen. It's very important. You couple with that, with getting rid of the sugars, putting healthy foods in the school systems, and let's get America back on track. It will not take that long. We'll be very great thinkers and we'll be just amazing what we do. So I wanted to throw that out there, right? These are all kinds of things. Coming back, I'm going to flip the story around. I'm good at doing this hypnotic shit and flipping the stories about what I talked about and didn't cover, is the program that I was going to do called Snowflake into Success. So anytime you eat like the foods and you're drinking the plastic water bottles and they're leaching, because think about it, you go to a factory, you put them in a big semi, you drive them across the country, that shit gets hot, plastic can heat up, and plastic leaches into the water, okay, and then you drink it. Now, plastic has a lot of what they call, like there are chemicals in there. They're called xenoestrogens. And what that does is it mimic estrogen, okay, and that's in a lot of the foods that we're eating. So our body, especially this generation who's born on it, doesn't really know what their own hormone system is like. So they're drinking the water, they're eating meat, and meat's got lots of injections in there of steroids and hormones. So they're coming into the system, they don't really know, they're confused. This is my beliefs, this is my own theory. They're confused about it, and they don't know where to begin, and we're bashing them. And even I did it because I was pissed at first. I had my shotgun, and I had like the shells, they were like tampons. If you saw that post, it was like, this will stop those fucking motherfuckers from being fucking pussy. But then I started thinking about it, it's not their fault. They're raised in the system of an administration that wanted to raise pussies, okay, that wanted to fuck with their heads, that wanted to be able to control them, and they got into it and they did a good job, guaranteed. But there was a rebellion they weren't counting on. There was a resistance of the people. Thank God for you Americans that saw through the truth and the agenda that they were pushing. So we come back to here, I'm gonna do that program on it, but just think about that. Xenoestrogens in the system, the body thinks it, and it actually mimics like estrogen. Estrogen, we all know, is the female hormone, femininity. So if you're eating meat and if you're doing those kind of water bottles, stop. Just telling you, stop, okay. Let me go into a couple other things. The wall. Let's go into the wall. People are like, don't build the wall. Mexico has a wall. I'm just going to say that. They have a wall on their south side, for the most part. Walls are okay, all right? And for those people that don't want a wall built on their line, cool, let's build a wall all around that and just leave like a little funnel and put it right into your town. So all these people are like, well, I know there's one gap in it. Hey, it's on this asshole's land over here that didn't want a wall built. Well, it's a good way to go. So let's all go through there and run through there. And hey, we'll all just like come through on your land, okay? Bottom line is this, people, okay? It's illegal immigration. People that didn't pay to be here, that aren't contributing to the system, they're just taking, okay? It's like a tick, all right? Bottom line is it's a tick. Well, all we're saying is stop, okay? There's turmoil in there. People are getting on them about, oh, you're not letting Muslims. Listen, I ran security. When there's a fight that breaks out in the club, you stop everything. You stop. This is a strip club. This is like basic 101, okay? You stop everything. You stop letting people in till you figure it out. You just don't say, there's a fight in here. Oh, just keep on coming in and it's more chaos. No, stop. That's exactly what's going on. That's what he's doing. Just stop. Let's figure this thing out. Let's get a good vetting process. And you should be very, very thankful for him and all the shit that he's going through for this, okay? He's fine. He would have been perfect. He's a billionaire with a beautiful family. He's fine. He's doing this for you. He's doing this for us, all right? Think about that. So these are things to be aware of. Yeah, you just don't let them in. You don't let anyone in. You stop everything that's going on. It's not being a racist. It's being smart. So that's that. Now, this is almost the end of the video, but I want to put one thing out there that I hope goes viral because I would do this. When you're like, if you're in America, we have Petco and PetSmart. Well, when you're in Petco, and a lot of stores in there, right at the very end, they throw this guilt fucking thing on you. And fuck you, Petco, for doing this. They go like this. Will you, like right when you're checking out, you put your card in, it's like, will you save a homeless dog today? Yes or no? Like, what the fuck? Come on. Do you really have to do this? Like, would you like to help contribute to the fund that is going to eradicate homeless dogs? That's better. Fuck the guilt trip. But if every business in America did this to get out of our debt, and who the fuck we indebted to? Like, Like, I don't understand that. So someone please explain that to me. Like, is it a country? Like, who do we owe this 11 trillion to? Can we work a deal? Like, what do you really need 11 trillion for? Let's work a deal if I can work it out. Or, I don't know who these people are. Fucking boom, get rid of them. Just done deal. Okay, I don't know what the fuck. Okay, it was probably corrupt to begin with. But the thing I'm trying to really say about this, and I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit. Maybe a green drink will help me. Is the strategy. The strategy goes like this. At the end of every transaction in America, simple thing, would you like to contribute to make America great? Call it another tax, but we're gonna fucking handle this shit. Our generation, the fucking X generation, and the people that weren't corrupt in the higher generation, and the budding younger generation that gets it. Thank you. And the younger generation, I hope you get it, okay? Because we're doing this for you guys, and you're gonna have to be, think we're being strong, you're gonna have to be stronger. And I believe that. But at the end of every transaction, we simply have a little thing that says, would you like to make America great? It's all tracked. We all know where it's going. It's not going to politicians. It's going to one fund, Make America Great. I guarantee I shop. Okay, I like to shop all the time. Okay, I go in and buy stuff. But at the end, it just said, will you make America great again? And you have the spare change. Yeah, I would do that. Think about that. 330 million people. I would do it probably a number of times a day. It would probably be $5 a day. Personally, from me, I would do that. And I just want to put it out there. So, to all you out there, welcome to the revolution. We're opening the doors for the world to see America and our vulnerability. We're going to come back strong. We're going to come back powerful. And we're going to make the world, hopefully, peace among all of us. With that, Eric Von Sydow, Hypnotica, out. Boom.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Rising up, rising up, fill your cup, raise them up, rising up, rising up, fill your cup. It's time to wisen up. Doctors trip, what's the deal? Drugs that heal will be concealed. People waste and soon away. Why? Because they could not pay. Money don't mean shit. What are you, a fucking hypocrite? Extinct profession soon to be. Living lies like they cannot see. Cannot see, cannot see. They don't care about you or me. We're puppets to be, dumbfounded rats. Ignorant ones as blind as bats. So as we sit and we wait, they're concocting the perfect bait. Rising up, it's time to wisen up. Fill your cup, raise them up, rising up, wisen up. Fill your cup, it's time to wisen up. They lie upon their words, they rob some of their dreams. They co-create with corporations for their selfish needs. They'll shake your hands a dozen times, they'll smile ear to ear. They'll tell you things you want to hear and even shed a tear. Their masks can change 1,000 times, their policies as well. I hope they choose to change before they wake up soon and soon. Rising up, fill your cup, rising up, fill your cup, raise them up, rising up, rising up, rising up, fill your cup, raise them up. Truth, just the American way. Don't you believe everything they say? Is the eagle bold and strong? Or has the vulture been there all along? Wisen up. It's time to wake them up.